Hey guys, this is Matt, also known as Animat, creator of Animation Look Back and Animat's Reviews, and I decided now it is my turn that I go and make a video about one of YouTube's biggest problems that they are currently having, and people are starting to be really fed up about it. It is the copyright controversy and how YouTube is handling fair use. Now, the first thing that I want to mention is that this video will not be about just my thoughts on the system itself, how fair use is pretty much absent on the website, and all sorts of issues that everybody has been having. This is not going to be just that. And the reason why I say this is because there are so many other videos out there that do a far better job than I ever would, and they pretty much explain it perfectly about the problems that YouTube is having with this and how it's seriously affecting creators like myself and so many more that you guys all enjoy. So my biggest recommendations that you can go check out is Alpha Omega Sin, Matthias, a liberal viewer, and of course the one video that pretty much started it all, Nostalgia Critics Where's the Fair Use video. So definitely go and check out those if you don't really have much of an idea of pretty much what's been going on with the copyright controversy on YouTube. Now, in terms of this video itself, I will say that this is going to be another example. Like, I'm going to present to you my personal examples that I have to why YouTube's copyright system is basically broken, and pretty much all the trials and tribulations that I have to go through in order to give you guys some fun videos that you can all enjoy and be entertained with, you know? Like, I have to pay a price in order to, you know, to keep you guys entertained and stuff like that by working around such a broken system that, you know, like, I can make my business with. And it's, you know, it's honestly one of the biggest obstacles that I have to go through. Now, the biggest question that you guys are probably wondering is that, why am I so late in the party? Why is it that I'm taking all this time to go and finally make a video about where's the fair use? Well, there is actually a very good reason for that. If you guys have seen my videos, you may have known that during the whole time, I had a copyright strike on my YouTube channel, and coincidentally enough, it was I actually received it around the exact same time as the Nostalgia Critic released his video on where's the fair use. So I was pretty much limited, and if I were to make a video discussing about YouTube's copyright system and a lot of the crap that I had to go through, then I need more than 15 minutes to discuss about this. Now, as of this video, like when this video is posted, it would be 3 weeks now since Channel Awesome and the Nostalgia Critic has released the Where's the Fair Use video. And unfortunately, nowadays, it is still relevant to this day. And who knows, maybe it'll still be relevant by the time that you're watching this. So you never know. Basically, during this whole time, yes, I did get a strike. And the reason is actually because the strike was actually put onto a video called The History of Will Vinton Animation Look Back, the Best of Stop Motion, where basically you can tell already that it is immediately under fair use, because the whole thing is like a documentary about the animation career of Will Vinton. And one of the movies that I did discuss in there is actually Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. And it actually had clips of Smooth Criminal. So Sony Music Entertainment noticed that I used those Smooth Criminal clips, and they actually put me in a copyright strike. Well, actually, funny enough, this is actually the first time that I actually have to go and do the whole system before getting a strike. Beforehand, I just immediately got the strike for no reason, like no warning whatsoever. It's just, bam, I got the strike. This one, I had to go through, like, I got to dispute it first, and then I got to do an appeal, and then suddenly Sony Music Entertainment decided, no, we're putting a strike on your channel. And the most interesting thing is that they didn't do it immediately. They actually waited a long time before they gave me the strike. The first time that I noticed it, the first time like I was aware, was in the beginning of February when I was on vacation, and I received an email that within a week I am going to get a copyright strike, and the only thing that I can do during this time is that they were highly recommending to me that I would go and cancel the appeal so that I don't get the strike. And I was just there going, screw that, I'm going to defend the rights of my video, because I know for a fact that the way that I'm using it, it is fair use, it is for educational purposes, and I used it in a way that is very transformative, so I am not posting like Smooth Criminal in its entirety. I'm just using small clips to prove a point, to show the history and the making of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker and how it is a part of Will Vinton's history. Now, with that said, I pretty much waited during the whole time, and funny enough, they were marking it on February 16th, which was actually the time when Doug Walker released the Where's the Fair Use video. And oddly enough, I was just sitting there waiting. Like, during the whole day, I was just anticipating and waiting for that strike to finally come. I was pretty much like the Joker in The Dark Knight. I was just sitting there going, come on, hit me, hit me! But the weirdest thing, it didn't arrive immediately. Like, the whole week, there was pretty much nothing. On February 16th, nothing happened. So I pretty much waited again and again, and the strike didn't come in until February 18th, 2 days later. So by then, now I got the strike. So at first I thought it wouldn't be much of a big deal because the next videos that I would have are pretty much reviews, and normally I would keep them less than 15 minutes, so it's all fine. But then I realized it was a much bigger burden than I thought. Because one of the big problems with having a copyright strike is that you are not allowed to have to post videos that are longer than 15 minutes. And during that time, I actually had some videos planned that were unfortunately longer than 15 minutes. And the worst part is that there was a review I had during that time that I would post, which was my review of Yellow Submarine. It ended up being longer than 15 minutes. So what I had to do for that review is that I had to cut it down. Like I had to cut it to make sure it's not longer than 15 minutes. And on another website, like on Vimeo and Patreon, I had to go I would go and put up the uncut version of the review per se. So basically, I decided to just leave the review of Yellow Submarine like that on YouTube to show the scar and how it's basically affecting my videos. And as for the other ones that I have, like I had a couple of What's in the Box videos where it's pretty much me opening letters and packages, and also I made a vlog about my thoughts on the Oscars. That had to end up being delayed, and it wasn't until 2 weeks later, on March 4th, when finally the strike was removed and finally I could put up those videos. They were pretty much late, but at least now I can go and upload them. So throughout that whole time, it was basically a burden on me. And also, like, I couldn't do this vlog. I had to pretty much wait this whole time. And I start to notice that while I was having the strike, the system, like the copyright system, ended up being far worse than I could ever imagine. There were so many crazy things that were happening. I noticed that there were a lot more claims that were occurring to everyone. Like I know this could be because like everybody's more out, like people are speaking out more that they are having like these false claims going on onto their videos and stuff like that. Like I know it's more outspoken, but I do notice that the system is putting in a lot more claims than usual. I suddenly noticed that a few of my videos were starting to pop out with more claims and stuff like that. So like it's not just like everybody. It's not because like everybody's more outspoken about it. It's actually because the system is getting worse than it already is before. And like I said, even I'm getting more claims than usual while I had this strike. So yeah, basically with that said, now that I did get all those strikes, let me just go and open up the copyright the copyright notice section on my YouTube channel. And as you may probably notice, I have like a buttload. I pretty much have a ridiculous amount, which for other YouTube channels, this may look like an absolute nightmare. But the saddest thing is that for me, this would pretty much count as progress, because once upon a time, this used to be like twice or even 3 times as big as as it already is now. So like, this is kind of progress, and I'm only doing it like one at a time, trying to put in disputes and also making all these appeals just one at a time, and it's getting ridiculous. At this point, now, like, the system is getting a bit worse than it is before, because now I'm starting to notice that there are multiple claims going on my videos. And one of the major ones that I start to notice, and like, the one that I noticed that there are a lot more claims onto this one video that I have to deal with for a while now, is going to be Shrek Forever After. There was already one claim by DreamWorks Animation that they manually detected for some weird reason. I don't know why they had to do that. But what's even worse is that now the system put in 2 additional claims by DreamWorks TV. So now I gotta go and deal with 3 extra claims. One that I have to go and appeal, and 2 more that I have to go and make a dispute, which I have dealt with DreamWorks before, and knowing the company, like, what they do is that they would mostly ignore it. It's either that they would just wait the complete 30 days, or I have to go and appeal for it. So, and if that were the case, that I have to go and appeal, like, that means I have to go and appeal for 3 different claims made by DreamWorks. And just to remind you guys, I am only allowed to make 3 appeals at a time. So if I would go and spend all my 3 appeals just on Shrek Forever After, it would be practically a waste, because I still have, like, all my other videos that I have to go and, get rid of all those claims. So, like, I have to go and do it one at a time. And, like, as you have seen, I have so many of these claims that chances are I might not be done until, like, maybe somewhere in 2017 that I can get rid of all these claims. Again, like, as I'm recording this video, it is somewhere in the beginning of 2016, so just a little heads up on that. But that's not even the worst case. Oh my god, there's even one that is even stupider than, like, Shrek Forever After. This is one of the stupidest things that I've seen, is actually on my review of the 1999 animated The King and I. Now, if you may notice, like, if you go over here, it's got 5 claims onto it, all of which is coming from Billion Dollar Boy, which I did do a bit of research, and I noticed that, like, there's some kind of, I don't know, like, their job is mostly to protect the copyright of other movies and stuff like that. I don't necessarily get it, but, like, look at this. I have, let alone the fact that I have 5 claims is already ridiculous on this one video, but what makes it even worse is that I tried disputing the claims, and what did they do to me? They gave me, like, they all rejected it. Every single one is rejected, and now I have to appeal for every single one, and it's ridiculous. Like, seriously? And like keep in mind, I've already said that you're only allowed to do 3 appeals at a time. So, like, I have to, like, this will probably take me maybe a month. Like, no, not a month. I wish I could solve this problem in a month. This will probably take me, like, an entire, like, more than a season just to get rid of all those godforsaken claims of The King and I. And honestly, just the situation, like, right there, it feels absolutely ridiculous. I mean, we're not talking about the original Broadway show or the 1950s film by Rodgers and Hammerstein. We're talking about the 1999 animated adaptation with a Boo Monkey ripoff and a funny Buddha man that keeps losing his teeth. I mean, is this really is it really worth it to put all these claims onto this review of an animated film? It's just honestly ridiculous. Like, this is really overshooting it. And there is actually one more case that, honestly, this is the stupidest thing that has ever occurred, and honestly, I find it so ridiculous. This is honestly one of the biggest proof that the system is immensely broken. It really is. And this actually has to do with my review of Alpha and Omega. Now, I had a claim by Lionsgate that the system immediately put onto it. I decided to go fight for it. I waited 30 days, and they decided to reject it, and I have to go and put an appeal. So I gave in my information. I waited the whole 30 days, and just at the moment when the 30 days are immediately over, they put another claim onto it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's for the exact same claim. And honestly, that's the stupidest thing that I have ever seen that's been done to my videos in terms of the claiming system. It's so stupid. That basically means that I waited 2 months for absolutely nothing. 2 months! That is an absolute waste of time, so I had to do this whole process over again. I'm not blaming Lionsgate in this case. This is completely in the fault of the system. Like, honestly, it's just absolutely stupid. And honestly, I would thank God that this is just for an appeal system that they decided to restart. Honestly, I can imagine how it could be so much worse. I can imagine maybe this could actually happen, that the copyright system would just put immediately another claim right after someone had an entire copyright strike for it. So, imagine, I would go enraged. I would be fuming if the copyright system would immediately put a claim that I use clips of Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal and it's from Sony Music Entertainment right after I had the entire copyright strike for it. I would not want to go over that again. But still, even with that, the appeal, I did the appeal system for that claim. I already gave out my personal information to Lionsgate. What more does it want? It's ridiculous. It really, really is. And now I have to go and spend another 2 months just to go and fix this entire situation. Why? This is an entire waste of time. It really is. And honestly, if I can go into the system itself, I would say that the biggest problem with the entire copyright system, I know that there are so many issues with the claims and that there could be frauds, and honestly, that's a personal nightmare that I have. I know there is a recent controversy that there's a company called Merlin that has been, that pretty much is making fraud claims onto, videos that pretty much uses the Damn Daniel meme. And it's just ridiculous. I have a personal nightmare that, one of those fraud claims would go and be put onto one of my more popular videos, one of my top 10s, or one of my more popular reviews, of Norm of the North, and they would just go and try to steal my money that way. It's a personal nightmare. But the biggest problem that the copyright system has, and that's the number one thing that they should fix, is the system itself and how it is built. Now, a lot of people would say that the system is made that the creator is guilty until proven innocent. Honestly, I would completely disagree with that. It is far worse than guilty until proven innocent. The system doesn't care if you're innocent. There is no innocent part. Once you get a claim, you're immediately guilty. It's like the system would give the creators all the punishments. It gives every single punishment to them, and they would give all the rewards to the people who claim it. So, during that whole strike, when I had, Sony Music Entertainment give me the strike for the clips of Michael Jackson and stuff like that, I would be punished. Not only would I not make money out of the Will Vinton video, but also, I had to limit myself to 15 minutes max to my videos, and it's just ridiculous. And what does Sony get during that time? Like, during the process that it got the claim, and like, I had to go and do the appeal and stuff like that, they're making all the profits. Sony Music Entertainment is making all the profits. The system is actually built, and what a perfect analogy that it was Sony Music Entertainment that gave me the strike, where the creators are Kesha, and they made, like, the big companies, and they made the system feel like Dr. Luke. That's basically the best way to describe it. There is no punishment for those companies to make the claims. And you know, the thing is that they don't have to do a single thing. They just have to put their material onto the copyright system and let that do the rest. I would not be surprised in the slightest that Sony Music Entertainment, that no one in there, absolutely nobody, has seen my video of Animation Look Back, the best of stop motion, the history of Will Vinton. Like, I'm sure they didn't even know, like, no human being in there knew that I was using clips of Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal. Or maybe there was, and it's that one dickbag that they decided to say, no, let's put a strike on it. I don't know, but it's just honestly really ridiculous. The system is absolutely broken, where it's like the big companies, like the ones who are accusing, they get all the rewards immediately, right from day one, the moment they do the claim, and the creators are left with all the punishments. Like, they feel like they're the ones who did all the bad things and stuff like that. It's honestly ridiculous. This cannot happen. And if I could be honest, like, I did know that YouTube did say that they are aware of the problem. They are hearing the accusations that everybody's been making regarding YouTube and the broken system and stuff like that, and that they are going to go and fix the problem. And, you know, if I could be honest, I don't care what they say. This is something that's easier said than done. Don't tell us that you know there's a problem. Actually go and do something. This is what I want to see. I want to see results that you're going to go and fix the problem. And this needs to be done as soon as possible. Because the more we wait, the more the system is going to be worse and worse and worse. And this is what I've been noticing. Like, as each year has passed, the system is only going to get worse, and it's going to be very severe, and it's going to seriously affect all the creators. And it doesn't matter if they're big or small, it's going to affect them really, really badly. And here's a good example. Out of the entire 6.5 years that I have been working on YouTube, it's only last year since I actually had my first strike. The first ever strike that I got was on February 2015, when I got a copyright strike by Viacom for my review of South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. And there were only two other strikes that followed afterwards. One from Fox because of my review of Ice Age Continental Drift. Why? I have no idea. And then the other one is what I mentioned, the history of Will Vinton, Animation Look Back, the best of stop motion. And things have only been getting worse. And don't even ask me how many claims I've gotten. My God, I lost count. I've only been busy just trying to dispute them and making appeals, which all I'm doing is basically handing out my personal information for no freaking reason. So now, all my personal info, like my phone number, my address, my email, and all that kind of stuff is in the hands of big companies, and I have no idea what the fridge they're gonna do with it. You know, I'm just handing out my personal information for no freaking reason. And the thing is that I know for a fact that my videos, that what I'm doing is fair use. Like, basically all the videos that I've done, I'm using the clips in a transformative way. Like, Animation Look Back, that's all for educational purposes. And Animat's Reviews, they're for critiques. Like, basically, I'm working within my legal ground, so why do I have to be punished every single godforsaken time that the copyright strike said, no, you can't do this, no, you can't do that. And I have to go and alter all my clips and stuff like that so that the system can't look at it. And I'm not even allowed to use like the original stuff. I have to shorten my videos to do one little clip at a time, and I have to alter the audio so that the background music and stuff like that's from the original soundtrack or something like that, I have to alter it to make it have a higher pitch and make it faster and stuff like that. It's ridiculous. I shouldn't be doing this just to please the freaking system. It's honestly ridiculous, and I had enough. But anyways, I do apologize for that little outburst. I just had to let it out. I mean, I've been battling this for years, so you could understand that. But anyways, going back into what YouTube said, that we need to see results instead of saying this, I want to remind you guys that this is not the first time that YouTube is going under massive controversy because of the copyright system. This has already occurred a couple of years back when many gaming channels are basically, like, they feel like their channel is in jeopardy, and like so many videos have been pretty much claimed and all that kind of stuff, and like pretty much they've been losing money and all that stuff. And the worst thing is that like a lot of people have mentioned recently the idea that Doug Walker, the nostalgia critic, brought up regarding that, why don't we make the system itself that like once a company made a claim, the money will be on hold, and if the claim is released, then the money will go back to the creators and stuff like that. This is not the first time that it's actually brought up. I remember a few years back that another YouTuber, Jonathan Paula, actually brought that up. And like, did YouTube do anything about it? Absolutely not. It's pretty much, they say that they were aware of the problem, they say they would fix something, but no, nothing happened. Things only got worse from there. And that's the thing. I don't want YouTube to say that they're aware and they're going to do something about it. I want YouTube to actually do something about it and show us the results. Show us that there is something that could happen. Show us that we're not going to be getting these dumb claims for all these stupid reasons. I want to see that YouTube knows about fair use, that I am not uploading actual movie clips, I'm not uploading the movie itself, I'm not uploading the music, I'm not doing any of that. I'm doing my own creation. I don't want that all my hard work will be rewarded to the big companies for doing absolutely freaking nothing, not even knowing that the video that I made exists, but somehow they have money in front of them. It's ridiculous. It's honestly stupidly ridiculous. And they have to do something about it. Seriously. I'm tired of this. I am tired of the freaking copyright system. And all I want now is just answers. So the only thing that I could say at this point, and I have to ask YouTube, where's the fair use? I mean, seriously, where's the fair use?